So, you want to become an I Am Awakened Manifestor Master? Well, you're at the right place. Welcome at the Oneness Wisdom School. My name is Orchid, and allow me a couple of few minutes and I will share with you the manifestation model that we use extensively in our manifestation lab to teach people how to live life of exquisiteness by design. Sounds like fun, eh? Well, guaranteed it is actually. Now, this model is based on the concept of think as God, command as a king, play as a child, and live as a millionaire. The fundamentals that makes this possible is the I am concept. I am is power, and it will free you if you know what it is and how to use it. Now again, we teach to a great extent on that in the manifestation lab. I'm just throwing this in to get back to the model here. So let me quickly show you how the model works. Number one is D, it's define. You have to define what you want out of life, because if you don't know where you are going, how do you know you are there when you are there? If you don't know what you want, how do you know you've got it when you've got it, all right? So the first point of departure is define what you want. Second point is raise your consciousness. Now, this is important because Einstein said you cannot solve a problem with the same consciousness that created it. And that goes back to the define department, because if we define, we normally want things because we don't have it currently in life. So we have negative experiences, therefore we want the opposite of that. Now, where do you think that's created? You're right, it's created in a beta mindset, a negative consciousness state. So guess what's going to happen? You're going to create exactly the same problems again. But if you now raise your consciousness, we get to the third part of that, and that is redefine. Now, from a different consciousness state, a theta consciousness state, we now again look at what we want out of life and we redefine. So this is not from a negative consciousness state anymore, the opposites of our negative, but actually what we really want, what we are passionate about, not what our parents, teachers, and preachers has conditioned us to believe that we are supposed to have in life, but what we as a human being have a passion about. So we redefine. The fourth part of this little model is DL and DC. It stands for delimit, and whether you want to admit that or not, my dear friend, we live in a belief-driven world. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you won't even try. Okay, that means you actually, if you think you can't, you can't. The basic bottom line around that. Now, this is important. You have to surface your limiting beliefs and exchange them for more empowering beliefs. A quick example. If you want to become extremely wealthy, rich beyond your wildest dreams, and you have a belief way back at the ranch that says rich people are greedy, and you don't want to be perceived as a greedy person, will you ever become wealthy? Most probably not. So you have to exchange that limiting belief after you've surfaced it for a more empowering belief. Now, normally delimiting is expressed in our outer world as clutter. Okay, so if you look at your car, your handbag, your house, your office, etc., and if there's a lot of clutter there, then that means you have clutter between your ears, and you will not have clarity in regards of what you want to create and experience. So remove the clutter, and most probably you'll have more clarity, and therefore you can create things by design instead of by default. Then we go to the 3 A's, very important, and we use this model to a great extent in our manifestation lab to help people live a life of exquisiteness. Now, the 3 A's are very important. Number one is you have to allow. You have to allow your manifestations to flow through you. Now, let's do a quick exercise just to give you an example of how this works. I want you to, just where you are now, if you're sitting down or whatever, just try and relax for a moment. Try, okay, try and relax. But difficult, isn't it? Now, let's do the following exercise. Just allow your body to go soft. Allow yourself to relax. Much easier, isn't it? Now, the problem with try is we have a framework of reference. We have been told so many times in the past, just try this, okay? Now we've tried it and we fail. So our association, our framework of reference is trying means failing. So allowing is the key here, okay? And again, we elaborate to a great extent on that in the manifestation lab. The second thing is align. We have values and beliefs. Our dreams will represent values and beliefs. And my dear friend, it's a given fact. If there's a clash between your own values and beliefs and the values and beliefs that your dream present or your goals present, you'll never achieve your dreams. Okay? You either have to change the dream's values and beliefs, in other words, you have to change the dream, or you have to change your own values and beliefs to complement the values and beliefs that the dream represent. Does it make sense? Now again, I'm just going to say this for the last time. We elaborate to a great extent on that concept inside the manifestation lab. And then the last part is the A. The last A stands for anchoring. This A stands for anchoring. So anchoring, we are consistently anchoring our emotional states, our experiences to things that we remember from the past. Most people have negative states that they anchor things to. So being there in that negative state, you want to create something, that negative anchor will tell you, no, it's not possible. So we have to teach a method where you can actually anchor into a positive experience, and from that platform of being positive, create your new dimensions in your new life. Does that make sense? Don't worry too much about it. Once you're inside the lab, I will explain that to a great extent. The following one is I, A, and I. The I, A, and I stands for inspired action and intuition. Now, I think that most people are too busy. busy, doing nothing. I know you're not there, but I know a lot of other people are there, okay? So we need to take inspired action, but the word inspired breaks up in spirit, okay? So you have to take in spirit action. Now, the only way that you can actually take in spirit action is if you tap into your intuition and you listen to that quiet voice inside you saying, do this, phone that person, drive down that road, buy that book, do this course. Okay, right, and we've all been there. Sometimes the voice of our inner coach warns us about stuff that we are not supposed to do, and then we ignore that voice and we pay the price. You've experienced that, haven't you? Well, I know I have. Not now that much more anymore, because I've listened to my inner coach, the intuition that prompts me going into the correct direction. Then the following dimension of our little manifesting model is R, L, A, and R, and it just stands for rest. We have to let go and let God have His wonderful way. You see, you and I are not creators per se. We are co-creators with the universe. We are co-creators with the power of God. So we have to do things, that's for sure, yes, but then eventually we have to let go. There's a gestation period. You plant a seed, you water it, you nurture it. Eventually it brings forth fruit. But there's a gestation, there's a time lapse, there's a process that this goes through. And in that process, we have to let go and allow God to do His wonderful thing. Okay, so we have to rest and relax to experience those concepts in life. So the key is to realize that you and I, and most people around us, have to resign as general managers of this universe. You can't be in control of everything. Obviously, initially, you follow the model. You do what you have to do. You actually do what you must do. And then you just let go and allow God to do what He does best, and that is to make your dreams a reality. All right, good. Don't worry. I'll show you how to do that once we're inside the manifestation lab. Then the last one here is R and R. Now, R and R stands for rinse and repeat. Now, this little model works for everything that you want to create in life, spiritually, intellectually, emotionally, socially, physically, thank God, financially, and in all your relationships. Once you've mastered the model, you can create in any dimension of your life a life of exquisiteness. Rinse and repeat. That's easy. I like easy, don't you? All right, good. That's it. Rinse and repeat, and you can create anything in your life once you understand the model. Now, right in the center, there's a concept which I call CMM practice. Now, CMM practice stands for the core manifestation meditation practice. Now, our whole creation process is built around the concept of doing this core manifestation meditation practice. It's going into your midline, entering into the inner room of yourself, and the giver of life in the secret will reveal you in the open. How easy can that be, okay? It's just a process. It's easy to learn, and I'll show you exactly how to do that once you are inside the manifestation lab. But for now, you are here on this page and you're interested in becoming an I Am Awakened Manifestor. So my suggestion is download the report, the manifesto on 19 principles to become an I Am Awakened Manifestor, and just read the principles there. And once you've done that, start applying it and start achieving the life of exquisiteness. All right, you would like that, won't you? All right, what are you waiting for? Download your manifesto. It's free. Download your manifesto and go through those 19 principles.